Most detailers think hiring their first employee means finding someone cheap who can just wash cars. And that's exactly why they're stuck at $5,000 a month, constantly stressed and working 70-hour weeks in the sun. I scaled my detailing business past $10,000 a month, and I hired the right way. I've helped tons of other detailers do the exact same thing, so in this video, you're going to get the exclusive behind the scenes access to real one-on-one coaching call with one of my private clients where I walk them through the entire hiring process, step by step, where to find A players, exactly what to pay them, bonus structures to keep them highly motivated, how to set crystal clear expectations, and the phases of hiring that 99% of detailers completely skip. This is the exact system I use to build my own team without losing money or burning out, and I'm giving it all away for free because I'm on a mission to help 1,000 detailers scale past $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 a month, and not just turn this stuff into a hustle.
Really only one thing. I just wanted to go over kind of more on the hiring system because I'm actually really close to hiring this guy.
Hell yeah, bro. So typically, like, I have like a 4-phase hiring system. Typically, number one is like I make them fill out a Google form because I put job applications out on like Craigslist and LinkedIn, but you don't. It seems like you already figured that out, and I kind
Yeah.
of qualify them through that form.
Yeah,
And
mostly.
yeah, so you already have that, and then if he's a good fit based on that form, which is like basically you just talking to him is the same thing. I go into step 2, which is meet in person or a Google Meet to see, obviously, you probably know this, if he's presentable, how he speaks, how he sees himself. And then step 3 is very important. This is to see how coachable they are. So what I do and what I'm doing right now is I'm coaching someone and I'm studying how good is he at listening to me. Because you're going to have the guys who are like, dude, I know how to fucking wipe down the dashboard. And you're like, okay, that's a problem because I do it a certain way. I want you to be open to,
Yeah.
learning my way. So that's a
Or
very
they're
important one.
or they're just gonna be like, okay, yeah, and then not actually.
Exactly. And a big thing I do and I'm doing right now and I always do with everything, even coaching guys like you, is understanding why. So I don't want to just tell him like, okay, make sure you vacuum like this. That's a what. I want him to understand the reason behind it, why I do that. Because if you don't vacuum under the seat and the customer sees it, they don't pay me because I have a guarantee that if they're not happy, they don't pay me. So, always uncover the why while training as well, which is super important. So like, even like the wheel well, like, oh, what does it matter to get under the wheel well? You explain why. So that's super important. So I typically, in step 3, it's like a first time thing. I just pay him 16 an hour for training. And when I'm with him on the job, like right now, this guy's been shadowing me for the past 3 days. I'm paying him 16 an hour and splitting the tips with him. And then when he's doing it full time on his own, I'm paying him 22 an hour, but there's super cool bonuses and you could copy my bonuses. I have, for every review he gets, I give him $5. So even if he goes around and tells his whole family to write me a review, I'm going to give him $5 for it because more reviews means more business for me. So I definitely recommend doing that. If he
Uh-huh.
could do, yeah, if you want me to slow down at any point, let me know because I want you to write
No,
all the stuff
keep
down.
going, keep going. I'm at
Yeah,
well
cool.
actually give me 10 seconds. I'm gonna go grab a notebook.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, brother, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, like I was saying, there's a few factors that go into like the pay because most people are fine with like, hourly pay, but you always want to incentivize people to work harder, even sales guys. Like I have a sales guy and I give him like if he books in 10 ceramic coatings a month, I give him an extra 250 just because obviously I want him to push to get more. So same with the technicians. So I give $5 per review and let me show you this. This is pretty cool. So I just got these on TikTok Shop, bro. Review cards. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I've seen him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I paid like 20 bucks for 3 of them. I gave the new guy I'm training one, and you just tap. So today I did someone's at her work, and I said I'll give you 10 bucks off if you get you and all your coworkers to buy me, or not to buy me, to write me a review. And they all did. So I got 5 reviews, and it was the best $10 I ever spent. But that's definitely a good bonus, $5 per review, because they can stack an extra 25 bucks a day if they try. Next thing is depending on, how much they're working, 3 to 4 cars, if they can do 3 to 4 cars in a single day, and I would pick either 3 or 4, they get an extra $25 on the day. So right now I have 3 cars at 25. I had 4, but I realized like I don't want to compromise and sacrifice quality for him to try to do more cars. So I did 25. I think like if he's working 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's possible.
Uh-huh.
I'm giving him 10% of the job if he gets his own customers. So say he's going out of his way to bring in his family members, cousins, friends, I'll give him 10% of the job on top of the hourly rate. So that's fine. And then I'm not going to let him drive. I don't have a van yet. I was just looking at a van, but I make them have their own cars. So with that being said, I give them $30 a week for gas. But if they're using your van, just whatever, you can give them like a card for gas, you'll see all the charges. So those are like my bonuses for the technician. And then as far as like the phases, like I said, step one is making sure he's a good fit. Step two is meeting in person, having that Google Meet, and going into setting up the training to where you want to see if he's coachable. So after you're in step three now, coaching him, seeing, okay, like this guy's good learning. He wants it. He wants to work. He's doing quality work. That's when you go into step four and you want to set goals for them. This is something so many people like just don't do. You want to understand why they even want to make money. What is
Uh,
their 1 year vision, and like what does their future look like? Because without building that connection or like making them tell you why, they're never going to have that fire under their ass that wakes them up in the morning that wants to get after it. So every time they're lacking, they're feeling like, oh, I don't want to, and you remind them like, yo, remember this, remember your goals. We're going to get you there and I'm holding you accountable. They're going to get after it because so many people miss out on that. And by not asking people questions like that, they start to not care about the work they're doing. They don't see a long-term thing. It's just to get by. And that's when quality goes down.
got you.
So this is where it goes into culture. A lot of people, they're like, I used to do this myself. Yo, come work for me. It was one of my buddies. They worked for me. I never asked them their goals. I never had a culture where we were like on the same page. It was just like, yo, I'll pay you if you make me money. And they notice that. They're like, okay, like this guy sees me as a dollar sign. They lose kind of respect. So this is when building culture is super important, whether it's like whatever, getting lunch every day, getting a coffee before they go to work, just like, meeting up, building that culture to build a connection and just really be on the same page. So like the whole team, because this is going to be your first of many employees. You
Yeah.
want everyone on the same page. So like culture is going to be super important. Um, and then typically in phase two, when you're on the Google Meet with them, typically what I would say is set insanely clear expectations. So, for instance, let's say the guy's name is Jake. I would get on the Google Meet, or if you're having lunch with him, whatever, and I'd be like, Jake, listen, bro, like, we're a group of guys who loves to have fun, but I need to be extremely transparent with you. This is going to be work hard, play hard. I bust my butt for a living to get these customers lined up. I pay a lot of money on ads. For me, I have a guarantee in my ad where I say, if you don't like our work, you don't have to pay. And I tell them, like, if you don't do a good job, I don't get paid and then I can't pay you. So the last thing I can is have customers feel like they're not getting taken care of.
Yeah.
And I can feel when a customer feels like they're not getting taken care of. And if any single person on my team goes below that standard of excellence, they're done. You can't work for me. And it's not hard, no hard feelings. It's just how it is. But at the same time, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be work hard, play hard. And I'm not an old business owner, but I just need to set the expectations super clear. Does that make sense? And typically, you can tell by how he answers if he's going to be a good fit. And I can send you some like script of kind of how I just went over it. And once you say it like once, I probably interviewed 40 people, bro, and I said the same thing over and over and over again. And it's just true. Like I literally have a guarantee, like they cannot fuck up or I
Yeah.
don't get paid. And if you don't set that in the beginning, because I used to never do that, they go below that standard. Like I used to just be like, yo, work for me. Boom, they start working. And then it's like, okay, the quality is going down every detail. They care less every detail. I never asked them their goals. I never set an expectation, and it's not really their fault because I never told them how it's going to be.
Hmm. Question. So on like phase three, when you're have them on like a job
Yep.
or whatever it is,
Yep.
should I be like teaching them like everything, like every little tip, everything,
Yeah.
like as if like he's going to be working for me, or is it more of like a tryout still?
As if he's going to be working for you because technically the guy I'm working with is still trying out. He's in training. Like he doesn't work for me, but yeah, you want to give him your all. You want to see, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm teaching this guy more than I do. Like I'm going to a standard that I don't even go
Yeah,
to
because
of
I was
detail
I
to
was
show my
thinking about it
expectations.
today during my detail. I'm like trying to like think about like, okay, I'm like kind of like playing it out in my head, like this is what I'm telling him. And I'm like, I'm gonna be telling him like more than like I really
Yeah,
need to do. Like,
exactly, bro. Like I went in such depth. Like I was sitting there like, dude, this is getting boring for me to watch because he was going so
yeah,
crazy. But it's a good thing because when I'm not there, his standards so high that
yeah,
even if he slacks a little bit, it's still to par.
yeah,
It's still to excellence. And
exactly.
what I recommend doing is your own car the first time because
That's what
I've
else I was gonna ask.
yeah, definitely do it on your own car because the first time I did it with him, I did my BMW and it took about um I would say 3 to 4 hours to really walk him through everything and let him do his thing and teach him all the tricks. And what I was going to do is bring him on the job. But if I went to a customer and spent 4 hours on like a normal detail, they wouldn't be mad. But if they caught me teaching him or anything, they'd be very turned off.
Yeah,
So after that first initial time, you train with him, you could then bring him on jobs. That's exactly what I did. And he at least knows your standard, your tricks, your tips. And you can easily just be like, oh, just do that, bro. Oh, just fix this. And it's not as like in depth of a full first time thing training.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this is crazy. Right now, this guy just texted me, my employee. This guy's 36 years old, bro. I found him on Craigslist.
Oh, really?
Hey man, hope you're doing this is the standard I set, and this is the text you should be wanting to get. Just sent me, hey man, hope you're having a great evening so far. I wanted to request some feedback on my work. I want to make sure that I'm in excellence with everything I do. I'm gonna get back to him in a little, but like
That's good
if
to
I
hear.
did yeah, it's great to hear. And if I didn't set the expectations or do these phases and just went like, you want to do it? Let's do it. He wouldn't care. And it's crazy because yesterday I had the most asshole customer in the world and I missed like I didn't have water. His water was like not working, so I did a waterless ceramic wash. And like his
Mhm.
wheel was obviously harder to get without water, and he was so mad that his brake pad, not the brake caliber, his brake pad had a little bit of dirt on it. And I told the guy, like the guy I was
Jeez.
training, I was like, dude, I had to give this guy so much money off just because of that. And like the car was insane. Like we were there for 2 hours. It was an AMG. We did a really good job. But even that like shows him like, wow, like if I fuck up, I'm risking a lot for the company. I'm not
Yeah.
getting paid. Alex isn't getting paid. And it was great to happen because now he's almost like scared. Like he's going to be insanely good, which is
Yeah.
perfect.
Wow.
hmm And bro, you could even just say stuff like that. Like, and if you're running the ad, which you will be because I sent you the script, no one's gonna like not pay you. Like me saying like you don't have to pay is just
Yeah.
like it's a confidence thing. Like no one's literally gonna call you out and then be like, oh, you said this, I'm not paying you if you do a good job. So it's like, yeah. But if you show, your guys this and like you're literally saying like I bust my ass, like I spend money on ads, I'm guaranteeing this, your employee, the guy you're training, they're not gonna not believe you. So that's literally all you need.
Yeah.
So it'll be really, and then we're gonna template some more ads for like you and a few other guys in the program, and they should crush. It's like a unique style one of my buddies does, and it absolutely crushes it. So I'm excited for those as well.
And then, yeah, but and then after like say like I hire him and everything, is I'm I- I'm assuming you guys maybe already do, but like for like I'm sure there's all sorts of systems for like paying him like scheduling him?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a great question. All
should
right,
we
so
go into that more like
yeah,
once he's hired or
no, we can go into that now. So first things first, do you have an accountant?
no, not really, no.
Okay.
Because this will be my first year paying
Taxes.
taxes, and then so I
Okay.
haven't really found anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, I could connect you with my accountant if your parents have one and you want to use them. It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you and
Yeah.
whatever you want. But it starts to get very confusing with employees, and I recommend not having a actual employee, and they're subcontractors. So even though they work for you, they're not employees because that becomes very expensive with when you're paying taxes. So first things first, they're subcontractors. And then as far as like systemizing the pipelines and everything, we have something called the technician pipeline. And this is something we can just snap right into your Go High level.
Uh-huh.
And we give access to, or I do, my technicians just that. And it's just new booking, paid that slash finished. It's just what he needs. He doesn't need access to my sales pipeline that has all my leads, call attempts. So I give him that pipeline, and then I give him access to like the POS so he can accept payments. And basically, as far as that, that's what I give him access to. And then he has my like Go High level so he can text people as well through the business number. As far as that, like that technician pipeline, basically does everything. Like I even have something if you're doing mobile or shop where it's like you have him drag it into like customer arrived or arrived at job site for mobile, and it texts the customers, "Hey Sherry, we just got here," and like in your own tone. So you're not leaving him responsible for texting clients they just got there. Like it is so systemized to where the technician has to use the least amount of brain power, and there's nothing really wrong he can say because it's all automated in your own words.
Gotcha.
Yep. So for that, we'll just whenever you want it, even if you want it now, we'll just pop it right into your Go High level. We'll snap it in.
Yeah, I'd say let's wait till he's
Yeah,
like more
definitely.
on board and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get all that set up.
Definitely. Do you have a retention pipeline in yours?
Like what?
We just built out like this huge retention pipeline. I'm not sure if we snapped it into yours yet, but it's sick. It basically follows up with anyone
Yeah.
you've done.
Yeah,
We might have snapped it in there.
Ted set me up, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So yeah,
Pretty sure.
it goes hand in hand with that. So perfect. You
Okay,
ready? Halfway there.
sweet.
Cool. And then yeah, as far as like that, that's pretty much like basic. And then when you're like in person or on the Google Meet before phase three where you're training him, you kind of just want to like ask like, yo, like why do you want to detail cars? Like, have you done it before? What's your experience? Like, how do you make sure like you meet the standards? Have you like you just ask stuff to like see how they react because
Yeah,
I interviewed so many people and just how they answer questions, I could instantly filter someone out and say they're not a good fit just by them. Like I had some guys saying like, I just love cars, man, and I'm like, okay, this guy is not a good fit. And then the guy I'm with, he's like, I've detailed boats, I've detailed motorcycles, I have a passion for cars, I have a job at an office, but I'd rather be more hands-on outdoors. I'm like, okay, perfect. So you can really tell by how they answer
yeah,
questions. So that'll be a big one. And even if this guy doesn't work out, I can give you the exact ad I put out there to get people. I literally have to this day probably people filling it out. I just haven't looked.
that's sweet.
hmm
What's your opinion on paying commission based or hourly?
So hourly is definitely going to help you save a lot of money. But if you're not going to be at this point because we're helping you with marketing. But if you think you're at a point where you don't have consistent business, it might make more sense for the percentages. But that's something I used to do when I was inconsistent. But now that I'm getting a bunch of leads, I'd rather pay them a day rate, say 175 or 22 an hour from 10 to 6. And just if I get two jobs, one of the jobs, maybe half of the first job covers him, and everything for the rest of the day is profit. So that's something I personally would way rather have than
Hmm.
just giving him say he does 2 details in a day and it's $700 and he makes 33%, he's making so much more than 175, 22 an hour. He'll
Yeah,
probably make like a few hundred. So it's like it depends, but for where you're at with our help, I think an hourly rate is much smarter. And with training, you could really milk it. Like you could train the guy for a month. In that month, he's only getting 16 an hour. But when he's done and you pay him 22 an hour and he has all these bonuses, it's still worth it because he's really good at what he does and you can focus more on like the back end stuff and like just systemizing everything, but we're going to help you with that. So, yeah, I think hourly is definitely smart for you.
that's kind of what I was leaning towards too.
Yeah, it's definitely because I used to do percentage, and even with percentages, like people get greedy. Like I had this one kid, I would give him 20% when I'm with him, 33% when he was alone, which is a third of what I make, which is a lot. And then he's like, I paid him 20% one time. He's like, dude, I deserve more. And I'm like, no, I pay for ads, I pay for marketing, I built this brand, I pay for
Yeah,
products, I drove, like I don't have to explain myself. So like being a flat hourly rate and for someone to say yes to that, there's no arguing, there's no confusion.
just more simple.
Exactly, bro.
Okay, yeah, that's smart. And then
Exactly.
how do you kind of like you just say like you kind of so for me at least when he's working for me at start it's going to be in a shop and I'm
Hmm.
not going to be there every day he's there like for the
Okay.
first month or two I will be but like do I just say like text me like when you're finished and like just trust him or like how do I kind of
So what would the point of him being what of him texting you be? To tell the client like
no to yeah that too but just like saying like okay I'm done so I can like record his hours
so
or how do I like how
the
do I record
texting
hours
part So the texting part could all be automated. So like he can just drag it into done and it'll automatically text the client like, "Hey, we finished." And that's the detailing technician pipeline that we'll import for him. So he doesn't have to worry about sales, speaking to anyone besides maybe like for a few minutes when someone drops their car off. As far as like recording their hours, I would just put a camera in the shop. Like even if my guy's working all day and he spends an hour at lunch, I'll still give him the 22 for the hour. But it's kind of like on a trust thing. So like if you
yeah
trust a guy and you shouldn't hire someone who's gonna like lie about hours to make more.
yeah
That's just scummy. Overall, I would just put even if they're fake, put like 3 cameras in the shop. You can get fake cameras on Amazon and just be like everything you do is like recorded and it's just for quality assurance. I'm gonna check in when I'm not there. I'm gonna make sure you're actually just not sitting around, and that should solve everything. When people know they're being watched, they're not gonna lie.
yeah
Or you could try to be slick about it and just like don't tell him, and then he'll see one and he'll get mad sketched out.
yeah oh shit what was I gonna say would you are you gonna pay your guy after every day or like monthly or what?
So I pay him every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
So it's completely up to you. I could do it. I've done every Friday. Like this guy, he said he likes every Friday. Obviously, he wants his money, but I'm cool with every Friday or every 2 weeks. The only reason I don't give it every day is because I have ad spend, and I'd rather spend the money on ads to get more clients so we can have more work. So then when I pay him, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, and that's super normal for like every single job everyone usually has. They don't get paid every day. So, if that's something like he wanted, I would just be like, okay, then you're gonna get paid less. Like if you want to get paid every day, you're not gonna make the 22 an hour. But it shouldn't even be a conversation. Just be like, yo, it's every 2 weeks, and then he's getting paid like whatever, 1,000, 2,000, and he's happier than getting whatever a few $100 or something.
Yeah.
Seems better.
Uh,
Yeah. But how I see it is like the more you spend, bro, the more you make. So I
yeah.
always used to think like, oh, employees is expense, ads is expense. But now I'm just like, the more I spend, I just know I'm gonna make like 4 times that. So I try to spend as much as I can. Not on stupid shit, like on ads and like stuff that will actually make me money. Like technicians, like you shouldn't want to do all the work, even though we're like perfectionists about it. We want to train and remove ourselves and just scale.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's expensive, but it's a good expense because you're gonna make a lot of money.
Uh huh. For sure.
So yeah. That's definitely a lot of that. And then as far as training, you want to have SOPs. I'm sure me and you have different style of detailing, like to the exact protocol.
Yeah,
But I would make a Google Doc of like how
a
to exterior
checklist.
detail. Yeah, like how to exterior detail. Like I wrote one right here. I'll like go through it super fast. Yeah, so basically when you're not there, he can go through it. Anything, headlight restoration, ceramic coating. There's your process that you taught him, every single thing you offer. So if he forgets something, he could always just look back. And after he fails and forgets more and double checks, it gets nailed into his brain. His failing is good.
That's something I was gonna ask. I forgot is so like with add-ons and like selling add-on services like headlight restoration, whatever it is,
Yeah.
because I sell 95% of those in person when I get to the job. Like
Okay.
today, I sold an add-on for a seat shampoo because she didn't think she needed it when she was booking it on the website. And then I point this out, and I'm like, yeah, like we would need to shampoo and extract this. So then I
Yeah.
sell it. So like, are you gonna sell or are you gonna train your employee to like how to sell add-ons and all of that?
So I have a really cool system for that. And you can use the same one.
Mhm.
So I use something called, you've definitely heard me talk about this, a pre-inspection checklist.
Yeah,
So I have my technician go around the car and say, okay, the headlights are out, seats need shampoo, whatever, all these add-ons. And then instead of him having to worry about trying to sell it because he's not a salesman, he's a technician,
yeah,
he sends it to me and I call, or I have a sales guy, he sends it to the sales guy, and the sales guy calls the customer. So the technician can keep doing its thing, doesn't get awkward, doesn't have to learn sales, doesn't have to get confused. He just sends it to you and say like, okay, cool. You call a customer. Hey, we got John out there at the job site right now. He said your headlights are a little this. If you want to go check them out, he'll show you. And you need 2 seats shampooed, and this is totally optional, but figured I'd let you know while he's there because you're going to be better than him at sales, and sales could be like a thing where it makes them feel under pressure and stuff. So
exactly. Yeah,
that's what I would
it
do.
just kind of feels like a lot to like
Exactly. And
throw
it's
on him.
actually really cool for like you to do it because you don't care if you're not even there. You
Yeah,
just call in and like, oh, just let you know, we do a pre-inspection, and these are totally optional, but you could have your headlights looking new, and you could use your seat shampooed. While he's there, we can whatever. I'll give you a deal, and you can sell it so much easier and let
yeah,
him do his thing.
that's smart. The only thing I'm worried about is if like, because it definitely is easier to sell it to them while they're looking at it in person with me.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of thinking about it like I could still like even on the jobs I'm not going to stay there the full time. I could still like be there for when the customer's dropping it off a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be ideal, but if not, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not hard to sell them because what you can do is have, say he's upselling headlights. He could send you a picture as well as like the list, and you send it to the customer and say, "Hey, XYZ, check your phone. I just sent you a picture of your headlights. They're super yellow." And while he's there, we're doing a deal. It's only 75 instead of 99. If you want, he can just take care of it right there and then. So they're still seeing it, and you can even say like you're more than welcome to just walk outside and check it out. John will show you, and they will. But it's you ask and you'll receive.
yeah,
It can't hurt.
yeah. That's definitely better than trying to teach him how to do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
even if I teach him how to do it, it's like he's gonna get scared and not do it.
Of
That's what I used
course.
to do all the time.
Of
I used
course.
to just be like, I don't want to be like a salesman. I don't want to
Exactly.
like. It felt like I was always just asking for more money, and then I finally like
Exactly.
got over that, and it was like, if they say no, then it's not like it doesn't even feel like you're trying to sell most of the time. It's just like, oh, like, do you want this?
Exactly. It's
And on
informing them, educating them, and then they're making a logic-based decision.
exactly, yeah. And for him, it just takes too much time to learn that.
Yeah, like I always say, like the best thing to do in business is focus on your strengths. And if you're not good at something else, find your who. Find who can be good at this. So if he's good at detailing cars, let him detail the cars. And who can sell the upsells? Okay, Caleb's good at upselling. Caleb will deal with that. Or maybe you're not the best at sales and you want to get a sales guy. Having a bunch of people who are really good at what they do work together is how you just scale. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So definitely
Sweet. Okay, that's probably all
awesome.
I have for
Yeah, no, totally
hiring.
fine. And then I'll put a bunch of like things in your dashboard for like prepping, hiring, making SOPs, ideas, scripts for hiring, tons of things that you can look by.
Most detailers will never get access to this level of detail because they're simply not willing to invest into their future and get real systems that work. But here's the thing, hiring your first employee is just one of the puzzle pieces. And if you don't have the client acquisition system, pricing strategies, and the back-end operations dialed in first, you're going to hire someone just to watch them sit around with nothing to do. And there's a proven system I've developed that takes detailers stuck at 10, 20K, past 30, 40, even $50,000 a month with the right team in place. And if you want the same level of one-on-one guidance that Caleb got to scale his detailing business, book a call with me below to see if it's a good fit, because I only work with serious detailers who are ready to invest in themselves and future with proven acquisition systems and actually work, because there's so many detailers who aren't serious. If you genuinely are serious and are willing to invest into your future, click the link below and book a call to see if it's even a good fit. And regardless, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.